Today we're going to answer the really simple question, which 50 watt bass shaker tactile transducer is the best for sim racing, and we're going to be comparing the AuraSound AST-2B-4 with the Dayton Audio BST-1 to the PUI Audio ASX11504 SWR. Let's get into it. First up is the PUI Audio ASX11504 SWR. This is the lowest priced at £41.35. It's 50 watts, 4 ohms, and measures 115 by 115 by 46 millimeter. It comes with a 1-year guarantee and M4 mounting holes all round. Contender number 2 is the Dayton Audio BST-1. Now this is priced at €54.95, which is roughly £47.89, a little bit more than a PUI. It's 50 watts, 4 ohms again, and measures at 146.1 by 146.1 by 63.5 millimeters. This comes with a 5-year warranty, important to note, and again, as standard across all three, it's got 4 M4 mounting holes for your convenience. Last but not least is the AuraSound AST-2B-4, modelling its landmine aesthetic. This is significantly higher priced at €104.95, which comes in at £91.47. Again, 50 watts, 4 ohms, chunky beast at 157.5 by 157.5 by 63.5 millimeter. This one comes with a slightly reduced guarantee of 2 years, and again, M4 mounting holes for your convenience. Now let's just first have a little look closely at each bass shaker, because ultimately you're going to be mounting these on your rig, and especially for me, knowing what they looked like and kind of the morphology of them before I put them on was very important, particularly if I couldn't get my hands on them. What you'll notice here is the PUI is very much a cheaper feeling bass shaker than the other two. Now I have run these for 2 years on a GT Amiga Titan, and I've had multiple ones fail on me. It's got a slightly cheaper looking bass plate on the back. It doesn't have a soft cushioner to protect from whatever it's mounted to. These are a little bit cheaper, but again, there's not much in it between them and the Dayton Audio. What you'll immediately notice about the Dayton Audio is that it's significantly chunkier and it's got a lot more weight to it. The positive and negative terminals are significantly bigger, they'll take a higher gauged wire, and the spring is definitely more responsive and feels more sturdy. What's really nice is on the base plate just beneath you've got this foam padding to protect whatever you're mounting it to, and for the slight increase in price more, well, we'll see how they perform in a second. As long as this performs better, which sneak peek it does, I honestly would just go for the Daytons just to spoil the ending. I like the aesthetic of these. I think they look pretty cool. They're certainly a lot more chunkier and a bit more beefier than the PUI. Now the AuraSound is something that looks like it fell off the back of a military supply truck. It is similar in aesthetic to the Dayton. It's got these nice thick terminals to kind of take a higher gauged wire, and it's got that foam padding on the back to protect your whatever you're mounting it to. I like this. Again, the PUI doesn't. The real contest is really between the AuraSound and the Dayton, and the decision you're going to have to make is whether the increase in price is worth it when comparing both the Aura to the Dayton, and that's hopefully what we're going to figure out coming up next. I would like to mention that all of these bass shakers were purchased with my own money and they were not gifted. However, if you choose to buy the Dayton or the AuraSound and wish to support the channel, I will leave some affiliate links down in the description below to the retailer that I use, which is Sound Imports based in the Netherlands. They were excellent, I had no issues, and they delivered to the UK no problem. I will leave a non-affiliate link for the PUI bass shaker if you decide you want that for some reason. So in order to do this test, what I've done is I've wired the PUI, the Dayton Audio and the Aura up to 50 watt amplifiers, which if you want to know how to do that, check out my video on how to wire bass shakers for sim racing. Now, this manufacturer in particular, PUI, they give a recommended frequency range of 35 plus minus 20% hertz in order to get the ideal resonance. They do kind of say this goes all the way down to 5 and all the way up to 200 hertz, but you don't get much of a tactile response with that, and these are of course tactile bass shakers. So before we start, what I'm going to do is we're using SimHub, and what we're doing is we're using the road impact setting just to standardize this test across the 3 bass shakers, and what we'll be doing is working through the frequency range and the test response for each, and then you can see that. Obviously this is going to be very difficult to do audio visually, as this is very much a tactile subjective experience, but I'm going to be giving you my verbal thoughts along the way. So to start off with, this is the PUI audio, and this is set to 35 hertz. Again, please note with the PUI, this hasn't got a kind of a soft note, which the other two have, which we saw before, but this is very much also a lighter bass shaker, so it's going to bounce around a lot more. This is the Dayton Audio. And then finally the Aura. So even with that test, hopefully you can see from a visual perspective that I think it's definitely Aura vibrates better at 35 Hertz, then it's the Dayton, then it's the PUI. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to 10 Hertz, and then we will work up from there. Now, ultimately, I think your bass shakers are going to operate somewhere between 25 to 45, 48 Hertz. That's where you kind of want to. That's where you're going to want to tune your frequency range in order to get a variation of kind of different vibration responses. Because as you'll see as we work through these, there is almost there's definitely a drop off when you go to the lower frequency ranges, and there's definitely a drop off when you go up into the higher frequency ranges. So this is 10%. Almost nothing from the PUI. A little bit more from the Dayton, a little bit more from the Aura. So again, that's almost nothing there. Right, increase things to 20. That's the PUI. It's the Dayton. That's the Aura. Now, I'd argue that if I just feel them for a second, out of the three, this is definitely the weakest. And I think these are, let me just do it again. I'd argue the Aura just has the edge on the Dayton. Let's increase the frequency range to 30. It's the PUI. It's a good response. Dayton is definitely better. Just one more time. Now there's not a lot in it between these two. This is definitely the weakest, but the Aura is definitely, at 30 Hertz, definitely responding better than the Dayton. Let's go up to 40 Hertz. Again, the PUI. Dayton. And the Aura. One more time. Again, weakest response. There's very little between the Dayton and the Aura at this point, but I still think the Aura has the edge. That's at 40 Hertz. Let's go up to 50 Hertz. PUI, not handling that very well. So we're starting to lose it now. Dayton, definitely better than the PUI. Now there is a big difference there. So the Aura is definitely better at handling the higher frequencies than the Dayton is. So what I'll do, we'll just do that one more time, but we'll do that without holding it. It's the Dayton. That's the Aura. Again, just feeling that again. It's the Dayton. It's the Aura. Again, there's not a lot in it, but if you're being really, really picky, I think the Aura has the edge. Let's increase this to 60 Hertz. This is 60 Hertz PUI. Still getting a good response. It's pretty good from the Dayton. Again, tricky. So there's not a lot between these two. So if I had to pick, I still would say the Aura, but again, not a lot between the two. Let's go up to 70 Hertz. Not getting an awful lot from the PUI. Dayton's still pretty good. That's the Dayton. That's the Aura. One more time. Again, not a lot in it, but I think the Aura's got the edge. Let's just go up to 80. Again, you would never run the bass shakers at this when you're having a tactile setup for sim racing, because you're not going to get much of a conductance through whatever you're attaching these to. So we'll call this the final one. This is 80. Just getting a lot of noise there, but not a lot of vibration. Here's the Dayton. Still getting a pretty good response there. definitely wins. So out of the three, hopefully that's kind of explained things. This is kind of available in the United Kingdom, but again, this is, now I've been running these for about 2 years now, and I've had multiple failures. Of course, I had them attached beneath a seat, which was less than ideal because it was very difficult to change them. So, if you really don't want to kind of explore importing things in, this is an option and they will do you, but no, I did have a high failure rate with these. The Dayton, I haven't run these for an extended period of time, although I did note that when I received some, I did have a few fail. However, they were easily replaced by sound imports. They've been very, very good. And they were ultimately basically replaced with these, the Auras. Now, again, if the Daytons are working fine, I think these would be great. If you had a choice between the two, I would definitely go for the Auras. Obviously, there is going to be a cost difference between the Dayton and the Aura. Now, obviously, I've gone for 6 of these because we're doing a big bass shaker setup on my SimLab P1X, and you can follow my journey along on my other videos. But I think these would be very good as well, as long as they're working. Again, this, if you want to stay within the United Kingdom and import from somewhere here, again, I probably wouldn't suggest these, having had them for 2 years. I've not been particularly happy with them, and now once you're comparing them to both the Aura and the Dayton Audio, you're going to basically need to decide whether it's worth the cost increase between the Dayton to the Aura, because there is a significant price increase here. Yeah, so that's it. Hope it's been useful, and I look forward to mounting these, and look forward to a video on me mounting 6 of these to a SimLab P1X in the very near future. Thank you for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.